Hey everyone, and welcome to week 3. This week we're going to be continuing our examination of the Constitution by looking at the battle for ratification of the Constitution and the amendments to the Constitution. Now, before we get started, I did just want to touch base about the welcome survey you took back in week 1. I looked at it last week during week 2, so now that it's week 3, let's just touch base on it. I noticed that a lot of you said you have not experienced barriers to inclusion at Baruch, which is great news. Many of you who hadn't experienced barriers were still able to identify hypothetical barriers that may exist for others. But if you have not identified any barriers that exist for you or for others, I do encourage you this week to think about what barriers may exist. And in that vein, I've given you an extra credit assignment for this week about barriers to inclusion. And on it, I discussed some of the barriers that you all identified in that welcome survey and ask you for your feedback on how we as a class, you as an individual, or me as your professor can help lower those barriers. So I encourage you to think about that, what barriers might exist, and how we can all work together to lower them, and do that on the extra credit assignment for extra credit, or you can shoot me an email and just let me know your thoughts. It won't count for extra credit if you do that, but you're still welcome to. Now, with that in mind, let's look at our work for week 3. As always, you'll want to head on over to Brightspace to our week 3 module. And once you're there, you'll see all the materials and assignments for the week. So this week, as always, we're going to have a discussion board. And you will notice that the discussion this week, your initial post is going to be based off an activity that overlaps quite a bit with the reading for this week. In future weeks, we are going to start doing activities that are more sort of independent work outside of the class materials, but we're still easing into things. So this week it will be a little bit of outside reading, but a lot of reading that overlaps with the assigned reading for the class. So we'll do that activity, look at the specific things I ask you to read, and then you're going to have to answer a question. I do encourage you to read the prompt fully and carefully. There's some sort of nuance to the question. If you have any questions about it, feel free to email me. Otherwise, it should hopefully all be there for you. And you'll want to post your initial post no later than Thursday, and your 2 responses no later than Sunday. This week as well, as always, there's going to be a quiz, and that will be due on Sunday at the latest. And please note that you can go back after the week's over and look at your old quizzes as well as the answers to the quizzes. If you are struggling to access those, let me know. We're still getting used to Brightspace here, and I know the way Brightspace does that is different from the way Blackboard does it. So I think it should be all set for y'all, but if it isn't, don't hesitate to let me know. Finally, extra credit, as I've already discussed, due this week no later than Sunday. Extra credit, don't forget, will never hurt your grade. It is extra credit. So if you don't do it, you don't get in trouble for not doing it. And if you do it and only earn partial credit, that's still sort of raw points added to your grade. So imagine an extra credit assignment worth 4 points. On a regular assignment that's worth 4 points, if you only earn 2 points, it's kind of like a 50%. You earn 2 out of 4. On extra credit, if you earn 2 points, you're actually earning 2 points out of 0 points. So it's not 50%, it's just 2 points added to your grade. So keep that in mind. Extra credit will never, ever hurt your grade. Brightspace may indicate that you earned 2 out of 4 points, but that's not how it's calculated when I calculate your final grades. So just keep that in mind for this assignment and all future extra credit assignments. This week, as always, office hours. You can book them on Calendly or send me an email with any questions or to set up a different time to meet. Have a great week, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the Constitution and its amendments.